Hey, you guys, what's going on? It's your girl Roxy here. I am so excited to have you on today's live chat. So today, I want to talk about a really important subject. And, some of my competitors go through this, and it can be a very frustrating thing. And today, I want to just cover what to do when you're in the middle of your prep and things are not going the way that you plan it. Now, we all go into contest prep wanting to just bring our best. And sometimes that happens, sometimes that doesn't. Sometimes what happens is you're going really great and things are moving along, then boom, you slam right into a stall, a plateau. And it's the scariest thing for any competitor. And it takes the calm of either yourself or a coach or someone else to make sure that they can help you to navigate through that period. A lot of times when competitors see things stall, they go crazy, they start changing a lot of things, they start overdoing the cardio, they start cutting calories too low, and sometimes that's not always the answer to what you need to be doing to see results the way that you want to see them. So I want to discuss with you 5 tips. That's 10. Okay, let's do that again. 5 tips to help you to reach your absolute best. Now, before I begin, I do have a couple of announcements I want to make. I have an article on my site that I want you guys to check out right here. Okay, so this is a new article that I have up for my competitors. This is tips for the natural bodybuilding competitor, figure, bikini, physique, whatever your division is. You guys need to read this. I get a lot of questions from natural athletes who ask me whether or not it's possible to do this thing and to do it the natural way without having to use drugs and all this other stuff. A lot of people are under the impressions that you can't do this and not use drugs, and I'm here to tell you that you can. So today's article, which is right on my site, and I have a shortcut link right there up there in the corner for you guys. So go ahead and type that into your browser. I'll also put it in the description of this video so you can go ahead and check that out. And one more thing before we begin, I am accepting new coaching clients. Whether you are a contest prep or not, you want to come on board, be a rock star, you love the stuff that I share, contact me, baby. All right, so there is the link right there for you. All right, and we'll go ahead and get things started. I'll talk about that more in the end. So let's go ahead and dive right into our topic for today. Y'all know I wrote stuff down because I can't remember anything. So, stalled progress during contest prep. My top 5 tips. Tip number 1, consider how long you've been dieting. And if there's enough time till your show, let's go ahead and try to raise calories a bit for like a week, a little bit closer to maintenance, and then take calories down again. That is probably one of my favorite things to do when I have a client who has hit a stall. And what's crazy is that sometimes that could be the scariest thing to do, especially when you're like 6 weeks out, 5 weeks out, and stuff like that. You think that, oh my gosh, I don't want to raise calories because it's going to make me gain more weight. But what you guys don't realize, especially when you're on long contest preps, I'm talking like preps that are like 16, 20 weeks long and stuff like that. I often like to have longer preps with my clients just in case anything goes wrong. We can go ahead and boom, get right to the middle of it and fix it right away. But sometimes when you get a little bit closer to show, it seems like it's counterproductive to raise calories. But I'm going to tell you right now, what happens when you're dieting after a prolonged period of time is that your metabolism falls, it drops. And that's just a natural part of the process. And we're always going to be fighting that when we're talking about contest prep. Because the number one thing that you guys have to realize and remember is that this stuff is not natural to the body. Yes, going to the gym, losing weight, training, and doing all that stuff, losing fat, that's fine. And that works, yes. But when we're talking about getting to the extreme levels of leanness that you need to see for the stage, that is not normal. And the body does not want to do that. We're not designed for that. So it takes certain, I hate the word tricks, but tricks and tactics, dieting tactics, to help you to get over that hurdle when you hit that plateau and to keep things moving into those super low levels of body fat. So one of the things that you can do to help boost metabolism is actually raise your calories. Now, I like to go a little bit closer to maintenance when I do that with clients, and I'll bring them there for like a week. It's not going to make you gain any kind of weight or anything like that because you're still training and you're probably training at high amounts of volume. So you do that for about a week, kind of just softly reset the metabolism a bit. And then after that week, you can bring calories back down again. And you can probably decrease about 500 calories or so up the intensity of your workout so you create a little bit more of a caloric deficit. But now you start to see the body move along. I have done that so many times with so many clients, and you would be surprised, like I said, that any of that stuff actually works. Like, oh my God, eating more makes me lose fat. Go figure. So that's tip number one. Tip number two, getting over stalls during your contest prep. If your cardio volume is already high, don't add more. Instead, increase the intensity. You guys know I'm a big proponent for doing as little cardio as you humanly possibly need to do. For some of you, that means a whole lot of things. Like for some people, that means you don't have to do cardio at all to see progress and change. For some of you, you're gonna have to do 30, 45 minutes, an hour or so a day to see your bodies try to start losing fat for your shows. But the notion of doing like 2, 3, 4, I've heard people doing 4 hours of cardio, like 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, then weight training and all that other stuff. And it's like, if you need to do that much cardio to get ready for a show, honey, you don't know how to diet. You just don't know what the hell you are doing. And if you have to do that much just to get in shape, perhaps you should actually step back and get yourself leaner and then, train for a show when you're at a point where you don't have to move heaven and earth to get ready. All right. We are not in the game of marathons, you guys. This is bodybuilding. You want to keep as much muscle as you can and lose as much fat as you can. So hold on to that muscle as much as you can as you get leaner, shredded to the bone. Okay. And cardio is only a tool in the toolbox. Now, if you're doing high volumes of it, adding more isn't necessarily what you need to do. Sometimes just upping the intensity, maybe raising your heart rate a bit, maybe adding interval training, maybe adding HIIT training into your mix is what you need to do in order to see the body push fat along. As we all know, there are studies that are already out there that say that high intensity training, high intensity interval training is what pushes fat loss along to a greater degree. So that's a tactic that you can use to help your body to move things along without going overboard on doing too much cardio. Tip number 3 for those who are stalled during contest prep. All right, listen to this one. All right, listen closely. Adjust calories so you're still in a deficit, but raise calories a tiny bit higher than where you are now. Now, this is considering that your calories are already pretty low. So this is a great tactic for those of you who are probably on the last tail end of your prep. Let's say you have like 4 weeks out and nothing is moving right now, and you don't want to necessarily push things to maintenance because you fear that might be too high. Well, what you can do is just boost calories a tiny bit. Maybe come up about 200, 250 to even 500 calories above where you currently are right now, and that's still going to leave you in a deficit. Remember, your body has a basal metabolism that just keeps you alive, the calories that you burn to just breathe and do stuff. But you also have, in addition to that, any extra calories that you burn from like moving around and doing work on top of all of the calories that you're burning already from doing your training. So raising your calories about 200, 250 to even 500 calories above where you currently are right now is not a big thing. But again, it's one of those tactics that'll help your body to feel more comfortable, to hold on to muscle and shed fat as you're going into the show. Listen, you guys, this stuff isn't rocket science. It's just really common sense stuff. But these are things that are not talked about because a lot of folks out there don't understand how to diet or train just to lose 5 damn pounds. You know what I'm saying? So as a coach, these are the things I'm telling you really, really work that you can do to just manipulate here and there and to get the body pushing along. I do these kind of things with my clients all of the time. Now let's look at the next tip that I have. I'm moving through these babies. Tip number 4, if you are stalled on a prep or during a prep, try switching up your macros and see if carb cycling can help. So this is another one. Now here's the thing. Enough studies are out there. I always refer to studies because y'all know I'm data driven. There are enough studies out there that actually say that it doesn't really matter how your macros are set up. It's the overall fact that you're in a caloric deficit that's going to push fat loss along. Now, that being said, there are certain factors hormonally, this, that, the other, which will make certain dietary setups work better for certain people. Like if you're someone who's more like insulin resistant or something like that, then you're definitely going to do better on a plan that happens to be lower in carbs and perhaps higher in fat and higher in protein. So there are little things that can happen. Some people do really well on a ketogenic diet. Some people do really well with carb cycling, where you will have your carbs low for a couple of days and then you spike them up with a big refeed. And when I say refeed, I mean like you're going to be eating about 2 times your body weight in pounds for your carbs. A lot of you guys are not carb cycling correctly. I talked to somebody recently who started working with me. She was doing carb cycle, but she was only eating 50 grams of carbohydrates for her low carbs. And then her high carbs were something like 80 grams. That's not going to do anything for you. So you need to actually boost those carbs up to get the full benefit of a carb cycle and truly be carb cycling. So trying different methods like that can actually help to move things along. Listen, you don't have to stay on the same diet during a prep. And that's why they say every prep is different. I didn't understand that when I first started competing. I was like, how could every prep be different? It doesn't make any sense. But the truth of the matter is that it really just depends on your setup. So every prep can literally be different, and it depends on where your body is. So don't be afraid to tweak around and find the right macros to work for you. I had a client who I put on a carb cycle and her body just went freaking nuts. I put her on like low carbs. Her body went freaking nuts. For her, a high amount of carbohydrates and a low amount of fat, even while in a caloric deficit, is what works for her. We started losing weight and it started coming off, and this was after a stall and even her weight going up as we were manipulating things and staying on her plan. So try it out, guys. Don't be afraid to change things up mid-prep, because sometimes that's what some of you need to see your bodies respond. So I have one more for you. One more tip. Tip number 5. If you are stalled during contest prep, if all else fails, choose another show. The stage will always be there, you guys. It is not going any damn where. Okay, the stage ain't going no damn where. So make sure that if things aren't working well for you and you know that there's another show coming up and you need more time, if you've tried everything and it's not working, take a step back, maybe give your body a little bit of a break and choose another show, okay? Remember, this game can be fun. Competing does not have to be like this torturous thing. It's hard as hell and it's not easy, and it shouldn't be easy. But at the same time, if you are killing yourself, literally killing yourself to get up on a stage, you really need to reevaluate how you're doing things and start doing things a smarter way. All right, guys, I hope that this was helpful for you. Hopefully I am broadcasting live without an issue, because this Facebook thing sometimes gives me a little bit of a problem. Listen, if you have questions, if you have comments or anything like that you want to add to the broadcast, please post them in the comments below, and we'll open up the discussion a little bit further. You know I'm always there. Like I said, make sure that you come by and you check out this article if you are a natural competitor. Tips for the natural bodybuilding competitor, figure, bikini, physique competitors. This one is for you. I'm giving you all my top tips on how to bring your best to the show. The link is right above there, the shortcut link. So go ahead, write that down, put that into your browser and check it out. And then finally, if you want to become a rock star, listen, I've got some spaces open for those of you who are contest prep or not competitors at all. You just want to bring your A game and look good. Come on in, contact me. The address is rockstarfitness.com/online coaching. Let's do it again. That is rockstarfitness.com/online coaching. Child, I can't even talk today. I cannot talk today. Come on by, contact me. We'll go ahead and set up a phone appointment so we can kind of figure out where you'll fit in and what your goals are and how things work. All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. Again, if you have any questions, post them below and we will discuss. Ciao for now. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining me.